The Securities and Exchange Commission must turn over emails about Ethereum, but it won't help Ripple. But why? XRP price forms a bullish pattern. Is it the time to buy? And the decision will not help Ripple, lawyers say. But why? Stay tuned till the end of the video to find out. But first, we are giving away 50 XRP coins at the end of the month. All you need to do is to like the video, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on XRP in the comments section. Welcome back, XRP Army. Let's grow the XRP Lab community by pressing the like button and subscribing to this channel to stay updated at all times. Late this week, Ripple won a procedural court ruling in its continuing legal struggle with the Securities and Exchange Commission. A federal district court decided against the commission's repeated efforts to block Ripple's access to internal Securities and Exchange Commission communications about a crucial speech on the regulatory status of competitor cryptocurrency Ethereum. According to Ripple, the emails will show that the commission has chosen two winners in the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin and Ethereum, while ignoring the others. Ripple had previously been allowed access to the emails in question by a magistrate court. They provide background for a lecture given by former senior Securities and Exchange Commission official William Hinman in 2018, in which he argued that Ethereum could not qualify as a security because it was sufficiently decentralized. For months, the commission fought an order to provide the records to Ripple's legal team but was ultimately overruled. The judgment resulted in a 15% increase in the value of XRP in the hours after it, reaching 49 cents. Supporters of Ripple saw the verdict as a big win for the cryptocurrency sector at large in its struggle against government regulation, and not only for the firm in its action against the Securities and Exchange Commission. What Ripple is wanting to discover in these emails is a smoking gun, a juicy quote, that the Securities and Exchange Commission stated Ethereum wasn't a security 4 years ago, and here is the justification, and if you apply that logic to XRP, it's not a security either. When it comes down to it, this whole thing is going to come back to what Ripple claimed and what individuals reasonably thought when they purchased XRP. Everybody doubts that the Securities and Exchange Commission's internal discussion of a particular speech will have any bearing on the case. Ironically, the wording of Thursday's order that gives Ripple access to the communications also dilutes their potential legal significance. Judging that the emails would only expose Hinman personal ideas and nothing connected to any type of agency position, judgment, or policy, the federal district court handling the dispute concluded Friday that Ripple had a right to read the Securities and Exchange Commission's emails. The records may not aid Ripple's argument because of how they came into their possession. Similar sentiments were shared by Mike Handelsman, a partner at the crypto legal firm Kelman PLLC. Handelsman is skeptical about the possibility that Hinman's emails may be relevant to Ripple's case. He said that bias on the side of Hinman in favor of Ethereum appears to be immaterial to the fundamental question in this case, which is whether XRP is a security. However, even if Handelsman thinks that the Ripple community has an incorrect grasp of the gravity of the judgment that was handed down this week, that does not imply that he disagrees with how the community has framed the issues at hand in this legal dispute. What do you think about his statement? The verdict caused a 17.65% increase in the price of XRP in the hours that followed it, bringing it to $0.5097. Not just for the firm in its case against the Securities and Exchange Commission, but also for the cryptocurrency sector as a whole in its struggle against government regulation. Supporters of Ripple saw the ruling as a significant win for the industry as a whole. On the technical front, an indication of the probability of a continuation of the bullish trend is provided by the creation of a bullish engulfing candlestick below the $0.4980 price level. XRP, on the other hand, is having difficulty breaking over $0.4980, which is a resistance level that is stretched by a bearish trendline. A number of technical indicators, including the Relative Strength Index, RSI, and the Moving Average Convergence Divergence, are now higher than 50 and 0 respectively. Both signs suggest a positive trend in XRP, which is optimistic for the currency. In addition, the 50-day moving average is providing support for XRP at $0.4700, suggesting a trend in an upward direction. The price of XRP can break over the resistance level of $0.4980 and surge all the way to $0.5205 or $0.5600 if demand for the cryptocurrency continues to rise. Alternately, the The rising trendline of a symmetrical triangle formation offers immediate support in the vicinity of the $0.4435 level. According to this scenario, XRP may find support between $0.4179 and $0.3809 in the near future. Investors will be keeping a watch out for a symmetrical triangular formation, the breakout of which will decide the direction of the XRP price. Furthermore, new developments in the legal dispute between Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission can cause the XRP and USD currency pair to experience increased volatility. Additionally, there is some news of importance. iRemit, a crucial Ripple partner, released a short statement on the company on September 30th and asked the U.S. District Court to incorporate its comment in the XRP litigation before making a decision. Evidence remit in support of Ripple suggests that the Securities and Exchange Commission agency misunderstood the company's true usage of XRP coins to perform financial transactions. According to Ripple business partner, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is seeking to impose its will on the cryptocurrency market, even if conventional legal norms do not apply. iRemit respectfully requested that the court allow the defendant's petition for summary judgment in the XRP case. What do you think? Will the court may soon reach to give judgment in this case? Additionally, Whale Alert, a service that monitors the exchange of substantial amounts of cryptocurrency, reports that hundreds of millions of XRP have been transferred recently. According to Whale Alert, a total of 231 million XRP was transferred between two distinct wallets at this time. The first transaction was the transfer of 130 million XRP worth $63 million between two unidentified wallets, while the second involved the transfer of 101 million XRP worth $50 million that was published hours earlier. In the meanwhile, FTX received 24 million XRP from a mysterious wallet, totaling $11 million. Also, in the not-too-distant future, Swell will have another procedural victory in the ongoing legal battle. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has filed a lawsuit against a cryptocurrency acquiring firm for unreported trading in digital currencies totaling $1.3 billion in 2020. XRP is a cryptocurrency created in the beginning by the developer of Wave. A government-appointed judge in the area rejected repeated efforts by the Securities and Exchange Commission to prevent Wave from seeing internal Securities and Exchange Commission communications related to pivotal discussions regarding Ethereum regulatory standing. Swell agrees that the email will be useful and explain the Securities and Exchange Commission's position. Chose two winners forget everything else that's happening in the cryptocurrency world except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Experts in the law suggested decryption. Although he was working on Wave's ability to win the Securities and Exchange Commission lawsuit, he had doubts about the decision's significance. The Wave was just granted access to these texts by Officer. During a discussion on Ethereum in 2018, former Securities and Exchange Commission official William Hinman said that cryptocurrency is not a security since it is very much decentralized. Whatever the case may be, the Securities and Exchange Commission made a concerted effort to withhold documents from Wave's legal team for a very long period. Since they were previously fired, the office has had to rush to make them. However, Long acknowledges that even in the best-case situation, the link to the Wave example is distracting. As an aside, the wording of Thursday's ruling granting Wave access to these letters undermines the potential genuine weight of these internal Securities and Exchange Commission correspondences. Yesterday, the federal court in charge of the matter ruled that Wave should be allowed access to the Securities and Exchange Commission's communications. Office means a stance, decision, or approach. Crypto legal firm Kelman PLLC Mike Handelsman, like many others, was skeptical that Hinman Communications had any bearing on Wave's assertion. According to Handelsman, the prejudice on Hinman's behalf towards ETH seems to be inconsequential to a decisive investigation for this circumstance, regardless of whether XRP is a security. In other words, even if Handelsman agrees that the Wave People's Comprehension Group would understand the meaning of this week's ruling is flawed, it doesn't imply he disagrees with the basic structure of the argument. Subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and make sure to comment your thoughts on XRP in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. And before you go, there are 2 videos waiting for you at the end of this video. Make sure to watch those. Have a good one.